Hey beasties, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Candy, and on this channel we like to talk about all things dolls, toys, and action figures related. And today we're continuing our look at the Universal Monsters lineup from Jada Toys. Last weekend we took a look at Dracula. This weekend we were going to be looking at Frankenstein's monster, or as everybody calls him, Frankenstein. Now, each box for these is going to be the exact same, so I'm not going to go through everything that I did last time. If you would like, I'm going to go ahead and link my last video down below, so you can give that one a view too if you want more of an in-depth of the box, but they are pretty simplistic. It's the open window box again. The only difference on this one is that it's Frankenstein instead of Dracula, and that the artwork on this side is of Frankenstein instead of Dracula. I gotta say though, I really love the artwork that they use for these boxes, especially the side artwork with Frankie, his bride, and then the creature on the bottom. I really like the colors that they use. And then, just like the last one, there is the spot on the back showing you the other figures available. So we've taken a little bit of a closer look at his box, so I'm going to go ahead and get him out of it, and I will be right back. Alright, so I am back, and he is out of the box. Now these figures do stand out about 6 inches tall, which is just under the 7-inch range that is normal for most NECA figures. Although, being that this is Frankenstein and he's usually much taller, it does look, we compare him to Dracula that we opened up last weekend, he does look a bit taller. Let's see if I can get it angled a little better here for you guys to see. Yeah, he's definitely taller than Dracula, and I think that's a nice detail that they added to make him stand out a little bit more. Thank you, Dracula. You are now excused. You may walk off stage. So let me get my camera to focus again. So, just like Dracula in our last video, he does come with one interchangeable head, one interchangeable set of hands, and then 2 separate accessories. So let's go ahead and look at those first before we actually get into him a little bit deeper. So we'll take a look at his secondary head sculpt first. Now, right off the bat, I much prefer Frankenstein to Dracula in this set. I don't notice any really bad paint defects. There's a little bit of a paint smudge there, but it's not as bad as Dracula's were. And the pixelation on Frank's face is not as bad as Dracula's was either. It's much less noticeable. You can see he has that little gash there on his forehead. Nice silver staples going around there. A very inviting smile. I really like this head sculpt. He probably will be staying with this once I display him. So there's that. And then his interchangeable hands are just scary monster hands. They're nice. Again, I don't notice any paint chipping, and the lines on these are much less harsh than the Dracula hands. I'm kind of wondering if it's because these are just slightly bigger than his were. He even has very nice defined nails on there. Yeah, a much nicer experience this time all around so far. And then moving on to the last things that he comes with, he has these manacles that have chains hanging off of them, and you can attach them to his wrists. I wouldn't count these as 2 accessories, so technically he only has 1 extra accessory, in my opinion. But I like these. I think they're nice. Definitely going to look good for photographs and just to have displayed with him in general. So there are all of his additional accessories and pieces that he comes with. Now let's go ahead and take a look at him. Let me see if I can actually zoom in and get it to focus for you guys. There we go. So now taking a look at Frank himself, pull him a little closer as well. There we go. Okay, so we can see that he is pretty pixelated again. Again, though, it's not nearly as noticeable as Dracula's was. I feel like I keep harping on Dracula, but I did not have a great time unboxing him, and to find out that he had so many defects was kind of a downer. These figures retail for about $24.99, and they are still available if you want to purchase them from the Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, or wherever you get your local action figures. They are still up and available, and I will be leaving a link below. It's not an affiliate link, I just want to leave you guys with some access to these. If you do want to purchase them that you haven't already, that'll be down below for you guys. So, what was I talking about again? Oh yes, his face. It is definitely much nicer than Dracula's. The pixelation is not as noticeable, and I want to say the paint application as well because I believe his hair might be painted in possibly the staples, is not as bad as Dracula's was either. I'm not noticing as many defects with him. It just looks nicer all around, and I'm so happy that it looks so much better. You can see he has a nice little silver bolt sticking out of his neck there. He does have this very nice tailored suit, jacket, it looks like, almost. I might have gotten that wrong. I'm not one for clothes. You'll notice that as you continue to watch my channel. I am not very good at picking out different types of outfits that people are wearing. It's just not something I'm good at. Anyway, it's this very nice green shade. It's a darker green than his skin, so it's gonna not blend in with it, thank goodness. And it does have a lot of nice textured detail. You can see the pockets, you can see the buttons, the collar, and then underneath, you can actually slightly open it. It is a little bit of a bendable plastic, not by much though. You can definitely see his shirt underneath. It's this nice little black shirt. He has what looks like a chest joint under there, so that's nice to see. Dracula didn't have one of those, but I'm assuming it's because his suit wouldn't allow for that. And if we move on to his pants, the texture on his pants is great. I love how it feels just running my hands along it. I know that sounds weird, but it's one of my favorite things whenever pieces have texture like this, just to touch and to see. Like, it's such a nice feeling. And you can obviously see, whoops, you can obviously see that he has two little buttons at the top as well. I don't see any pockets on these. And then his shoes are just these plain black shoes. They're platforms though, so they do add to his height. And they do have a nice little swivel joint here as well. You can see on the bottom, they do have a spot for a stand, although these figures don't come with one. I'm not sure if Jada will be selling stands separately at any point. If they do, I will definitely let you guys know so you can pick yourselves up some as well. So now let's talk about his articulation for just a moment. I already mentioned that he has a chest joint and he does have a really good movement in his head and neck joint. You can see he can look up, down, side to side, he can tilt his head. He has a lot of movement there. I really appreciate that. And then if we move down to his arms, his shoulders do have very minimal movement. I don't think that's going to change because of the way that they added the sleeves to this. It looks like that will hinder his movement there quite a bit. And then he has a nice swivel joint up here. And just like Dracula, he has the double joint at his elbow. And he has movement at his wrist. That's nice. And then if we take a look down here, he does have movement at his hips. They can move up and down and slightly move around. Not much because of the plastic of the coat, though, keeping them from moving. And then just like up at the arms, he does have a swivel down here. Double joint at the knee. And a swivel at the ankle. I'm not sure if these do anything other than swivel, though. Still haven't been able to find that out. My Dracula is still stiff, so still not much movement on him. Anyway, let me go ahead and get him put back together, and then we can end out this review. Alright, and that has been my review of the Jada Toys Universal Monsters Frankenstein action figure. If you guys do like these videos and you want to support the channel, feel free to go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to get notified of all my latest uploads, go ahead and hit that bell notification button. And until then, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!